Welcome back to another edition of Stuff You Don't Usually See. This is how it works. We record an interview segment for a group of local radio stations, but we're showing you kind of behind the scenes of how it's all done. So my guest today is Alyssa Halle-Schramm, Long-Range Planning Administrator for the City of College Station. Are you ready to do this for radio folks?
Yes, thanks for having me here today.
You betcha. Okay, here we go. Well, thank you and good morning. My guest today is Alyssa Halle-Schramm, who is Long-Range Planning Administrator for the City of College Station. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Doing very well. Okay, so you tackle the biggest projects we have in planning and development services. And one of those monster projects that spans well beyond a year, it relates to our comprehensive plan. So I would like for you to set up just real quickly a reminder of what the comprehensive plan is, what work you've been doing so far and public engagement and so forth, and what you're about to ask people to do moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
So the city's comprehensive plan is the 20-year vision for how the city is going to grow and change over time. It really is the citizens' vision for the future of the city. So it involves countless hours of public engagement, citizen input meetings, surveys, and different public input opportunities to do checks on whether or not the plan still meets the citizens' vision for the future. So the existing plan was created in 2009, and we do every 5 years a deeper dive look onto the plan. So it was created in 2009 and spans a 20-year planning horizon. So it's a 2009 through 2030 plan. So 2019 marked the halfway point of the entire plan. So that 10-year point, we called the project the Next 10.
Yes.
We took a look at what was going well in the plan, what had room for improvement, and then did a lot of public input as well to see, did the plan document match the citizens' vision for the future? So through that process, it was about a 16-month public engagement and planning analysis that we did. We talked to over 800 stakeholders and citizens to see kind of what's going well and what has room for improvement. And all of that ended in a report document that said, okay, here's what's going well, here's what has room for improvement, and here's how you should go about updating your plan. So that report was done last fall, and then since that time, we've kind of taken a step back, been a lot of work in our offices, actually writing, rewriting, editing, changing maps, doing all of the nitty-gritty work to make the changes to the plan that the citizens wanted to see through all that public input we got.
And I've seen some drafts of this document, which is immense, but it's beautiful. And there's a lot of good information in that document that we're working towards. But you're about to launch into another phase of public engagement, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, tell me about that.
Okay, so we have a couple ways the public can participate going forward over the next 5 weeks. And really what this is the unveiling of the proposed plan. So this is the, hey, we heard you, we made all of the changes, here's the plan. Do you like it? Do you not? Did we get it right? That's probably the biggest question for the public is, did we get this right? Did we update the right things in the right way to reflect the citizens' vision? So that is unveiling next Monday, August 2nd. And it will be, we'll be doing virtual public engagement through September 3rd. So about 5 weeks there. The plan document itself will be online at our Next 10 website, which is cstx.gov/the-next10 and the number 10, not written out. And that everything will live there. So that's the best central resource for the public to go to. That will have the plan document, 3 interactive maps, so you can actually see proposed changes to the future land use plan, which is what the future of different properties could be, the thoroughfare plan, which is the city's road network, and then our bicycle and pedestrian facilities as well. So those 3 interactive maps will all be on that website, along with the full document and survey that the public can fill out. In addition to that, we will have in-person meetings as well. This will be an open house style format where staff will be available to answer questions, help residents navigate kind of where their property is, what proposed changes may impact their property or their neighborhood. And those 3 meetings are August 16th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at Southwood Community Center. August 24th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., so a lunchtime meeting at the Larry J. Ringer Library on Harvey Mitchell.
Okay.
And then August 25th, again in the evening, from 6:30 to 8 at the Lincoln Rec Center. So those are the 3 planned meetings right now. We are also working to get onto the A&M campus. So that would be once the students are back in session. So we're looking at kind of Howdy Week, which is the week before classes start, and also the first week of classes to do some tabling at the A&M campus. Those details are still being fleshed out, but we do plan to do kind of more broad-based public engagement through the website, the 3 in-person events, and then also some targeted public engagement to students.
So I'm making an assumption here, but the in-person public engagement sessions probably allow for a pretty high quality of feedback to be offered. Do the virtual opportunities allow that same level of feedback if you want to engage in that way?
Yes. So really the biggest 3 would be the 3 interactive maps. So those maps, you can search by your property address and then essentially drop pins onto the map and say, I like this, I don't like this, I have an idea, and give all that feedback to us through that interactive map. You also can do both. If you want to do the virtual map and then also come talk to us in person, or maybe you do the map and you're not quite sure what certain things mean or how it really impacts your property, absolutely come talk to us in person as well at one of the 3 public input meetings. Okay. We will also have static versions of the map, so a poster board with the maps on them at those meetings with the list of changes too, so we can help anybody kind of navigate the virtual maps and also the paper version of the maps.
Okay, so it's not just I like it or I don't like it, but it also allows you to say why you believe what you believe.
Correct.
Okay, I like that. What else? Because that's a lot. So what else moving forward after you have these public engagement sessions, both the virtual period and the in-person sessions?
Yeah, so all of that feedback, we'll take a look at it, see kind of what trends there are from the public. So if, an idea we put out there, people really didn't like it, we may walk that back or make changes based on all that input that we hear. Whenever that's done with those changes that are being made, we will be taking this forward actually for multiple boards to take a look at. So our city citizen appointed boards, we'll be going to the Bike Ped Greenways Board for their recommendation, the Parks Board for their recommendation, the Planning and Zoning Commission for their recommendation, and then all of that recommendation ends up going to City Council, and they make the final decision whether to adopt the proposed comprehensive plan as updated. For some overall dates there, we're looking at, it's the week of September 13th is pretty much all of those recommending body board meetings. So September 13th through 17th is all those recommending board meetings. Yeah. And then we're planning for October 14th City Council meeting. Wow. And citizens also can sign up to speak at the podium during any of those events. They all have kind of a Here Citizens period where you can sign up to speak if you have any final thoughts, questions, concerns that you would like either any of those boards and commissions or City Council to hear.
And just to be sure, the comprehensive plan and all the sub-plans within the comp plan, how rigid are those through the years that come? In other words, are those rigid and cannot be augmented in any sort of way, or are they intentionally malleable in some way?
Yeah, that's a great question. The comp plan is meant to be a living document, so it very much can be amended over time and should be amended over time to make sure that it accounts for changed conditions, anything new that's going on in the community, changes in development over time as well. Maybe we anticipated an area wouldn't redevelop, but it has. That definitely changes the character of that area, and we could change what the plan looks like in that area as well. So that's really what this 10-year update is about too, is that kind of opening up the living document, and if you will, and then making the changes that are more relevant to 2021 than were relevant to 2009. A great example is that the existing comprehensive plan doesn't have a section at all on emergency management. And after the last year and a half with COVID and the winter storm, that seems to have been maybe an oversight or maybe something that wasn't, a hot topic in 2009, but certainly is today. Yeah. So the plan update actually has a new section emphasizing the importance of emergency management and how we plan as a city to address emergency situations, and how we also plan to make our city more resilient to bounce back quicker, essentially, from emergency events or weather events.
Okay. So again, public engagement period is coming up. There are multiple ways that you can take part in that, and all that information is going to be at csdx.gov/the next 10.
That's correct.
What else did I miss? Anything? Did we do okay?
I think we did okay. That's all the highlights.
Okay. Thank you, Alyssa, for joining me. And thank you guys for allowing us to come on and talk about the city of College Station. Okay. That is part 1 of Stuff You Don't Usually See. We have a part 2 coming up next. Welcome back. It's part 2 of Stuff You Don't Usually See. A 2-parter. I think this is the first time we've ever done that. Guest now, Samantha Holman. Let me make sure I got your title right. Recreation Supervisor for Tourism for College Station Parks and Recreation. Is that close?
Kind of. I was like, we can go shorten it, Tourism Supervisor.
Tourism Supervisor.
Yes.
I like that a lot better.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming in and talking to me. We're going to do the radio thing like you and I have done before. So
Yes.
you ready to try this?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
Okay. Tourism Supervisor, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Well, thank you and good morning. My guest right now is Samantha Holman, who is Tourism Supervisor for College Station Parks and Recreation. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great. Okay, so we're going to be talking about youth sports and adult sports, all the things coming up. So I'm turning it over to you. Go. What do you have coming up?
Well, for the fall, we have youth 7-on-7 football. And unlike last season, we are doing it as an individual registration. So registration is open and it closes August 29th. And so those ages are going to be from 6 to 12, and it'll be, we actually have a couple of options. So we have Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And those are all going to be taking place at Stephen C. Beachy Central Park. And it'll be about $80 for residents and then $96 for non-residents, so anyone that does not have a College Station address. And we'll be starting the week of September 7th. Since September 6th is the holiday, we'll be starting that Tuesday and then the Wednesday as well.
I already have a question for you.
Yes.
So how does this work logistically? Do you have Parks and Recreation staff that actually delivers the camps, the leads the camps, or do you bring in folks from the outside who are trained and capable of doing that?
So we actually have umpires, or actually officials that will be officiating all of these youth 7-on-7 games. We'll actually be drafting. We'll be having a draft for these teams. So coaches will take turns and drafting these players to create their teams.
Okay. So what is next?
We have adult softball and adult kickball. So registration is open for that as well, and it closes on August 22nd. And it'll be $410 per team, or a $20 late registration fee if you do sign up after August 22nd. And those will be 18 plus, since it is an adult team. And so co-ed softball are actually on Mondays and Thursday nights, and men's softball is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And so you can have at least up to 20 players per roster, and we do have competitive or recreation options on those nights. And for kickball, it'll be on Wednesday nights.
You know I'm intrigued about kickball.
Yes.
I always ask you about that. How many? I should know this, but I don't. Do you know how many players are on a kickball team?
Typically, our roster goes up to 20.
It is 20. Okay.
Yes, so it goes up to 20, but it's 4 to 6 on a field at a time, depending on. But you can also have as many as you want, or up to 20.
Because I haven't played kickball since I was a kid.
Yes.
On the blacktop in little Breckenridge, Texas. So I don't have a sense for how it works. I'm just so intrigued by it.
Yes.
Adult kickball.
Yes, and we actually had a pretty good season pretty good registration for this past season. We actually had 2 different divisions for kickball, because that's how many teams signed up.
That is awesome.
Yes.
I
So
love
it's
that.
We're excited.
And I guess you're feeling some bit of energy in people who feel comfortable coming out and enjoying the outdoors and being around other people.
Definitely.
You're probably feeling and seeing that kind of thing increase, correct?
Yes. So we've actually, our kickball numbers have increased ridiculously, since we've never really had 2 divisions before. So we were able to have one division with teams that haven't played before, and then another division with teams that have played with us before, to just kind of change up the competition a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and kickball will start also, the kickball and softball will start the week of the September 7th, and that will take place at Veteran Parks softball fields.
Okay. Okay, so what sport have we not covered that is still on your list?
We will have adult volleyball. So adult volleyball is registration is also open for that as well, and also ends August 22nd. Those fees per team are $250, and it is 18 plus as well. Adult volleyball will be taking place at Lincoln Recreation Center as well as the College Station ISD gyms. And we will also have competitive or recreation options for Tuesday or Thursday nights. So it'll also start the week of September 7th.
So I was recently at my parents' house and watching beach volleyball in the Olympics.
Yes.
And I suspect, just like you see an increase of people go out and play golf, during the Masters weekend, I am guessing sign up for adult volleyball is going to be pretty brisk because people are just watching this and thinking, oh, I could totally do this. I'm fired up. I'm going to do this.
Yes, and especially since we're hoping to have more locations and not just be limited to the 2 gyms at Lincoln Recreation Center. We're hoping to have 4 more gyms at least with the College Station ISD gyms. So we are hoping that we can have a better season with more teams.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so did we cover all the sports and all the things coming up?
We covered all the sports. With the adult sports, if you don't have a team that you can sign up with, we do have the free agent sign up list for softball, kickball, and volleyball. So if you go on teamsideline.com/College Station and you are interested in playing any of those adult sports that are coming up, you can register yourself for any of the nights. So if you're interested in multiple nights, you can register for Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. And if you're interested in co-ed and or men's, you can sign up for anything that you're interested in. And if you want to take it one step further, you can also go on those nights that you're interested in and just walk around and just chat with people and hope that you get picked up.
Hey, I'm a free agent. Pick me, pick me, pick me.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so more information at cstx.gov/sports.
Correct. And
Perfect.
that is also where you can register. All of our links will be on there, so you can just click on the hyperlinks right next to the sports. You can register online, in person at our office at Central Park, or over the phone at 979-764-3486.
Fantastic. Samantha, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for letting us come on and talk about the city of College Station. And that is stuff you don't usually see.
I was like, where did I mess up?